It's that time of the week again. Time to recap the latest aviation news stories all in the one place for you all, covering critical developments across our industry, from coverage on a new order to a new airline, and also the latest news in a heated battle to take over Spirit Airlines, which in the past week has taken many different twists and turns, as I'm sure you can imagine if you've been keeping a close eye on the YouTube channel. Starting off the bat with a new order within the aviation industry from Turkish Airlines, who did announce they had signed a contract with European aircraft manufacturer Airbus to purchase 6 additional A350s, a decision that comes with a few exciting twists, specifically centering around the delivery time of the A350. Raid Shadow Legends is a game on mobile and PC, and for someone like me who rarely uses a console, it's the perfect combination and has allowed me to kill time, most recently during my 30+ hour journey around the world. With campaign battles, PvP arena matches, dungeon runs, and more, it's a game that continues to offer you something. Champions are essential and something I've actually enjoyed playing with. Think of them as your Boeing 747, true workhorses. Ethos's majestic outfit is a pleasure to view, best comparable to a full body special livery. The Royal Guard oozes class like the new Air Canada livery. It can wreck bosses and he's very, very powerful, like a GE-90. His ability to paralyze bosses and deal damage means it's the whole package. Venus is your middle of the market aircraft, a workhorse, also able to be versatile in every aspect of the game, comparable to maybe the A321LR. This month the game is also offering new champions. Best of all, they're offering a special Deliana, a brand new legendary champion from the High Elves Faction Chase event. You do need to log in and play between now and July 20th for 7 days, and you'll get one of the strongest champions for free. There's seriously not been a better time to start playing. If you're a new player, once you're in game, just enter the promo code MyDeliana to get your hands on everything. You can get 50 XP brews. You're going to be able to max your legendary hero, Deliana, to level 50. You'll be getting a ton of silver as well. New players will get a special starter pack worth almost $40, including new champions like Targasol, Romero, and Misericord. Don't forget, there's also 10 Magic XP Brew, 10 Force XP Brew, and 10 Spirit XP Brew. Just check the link in the description, and I'll be seeing you in-game. Back to the Turkish A350 order. The complications from this order are intriguing for many reasons, however, namely, thanks to when these Airbus A350s will arrive with the carrier. It's expected the aircraft will join up from this year through to 2023, which is quite the rapid turnaround from order to delivery, and definitely indicates that the airline has managed to likely acquire these aircraft from another airline, whose orders and deliveries are not going through at this time. They've essentially acquired these delivery slots themselves. This can be a benefit for some airlines that say want to snag a deal for, in this sense, a wide-body aircraft and not have to wait the typical years and years to reap the rewards of the type truly. But again, it's worth mentioning that this is something Turkish Airlines would have had to go through had they not acquired another airline's delivery and aircraft slots. Thanks to the commitment by Turkish Airlines, by the end of the following calendar year, they'll fly 31 A350s, definitely a sizable amount, helping offer their customers fantastic international destinations. It's no shock or horror, but in the past couple of weeks, Spirit Airlines announced that they had turned down an attempt from JetBlue to purchase the airline. It comes not for the first time, as the airline believes that approaches from JetBlue do not suit them as a carrier overall, and is not what would be the ultimate best decision. It also comes as the airline continues to prioritize the Frontier bid, of course this being the other airline within the US aviation industry that is attempting to take over Spirit. Spirit noted that it would not be in the best interests of the airline and also stockholders to move forward with the bid from JetBlue. And again, this is the second time we've had this occur, almost giving off an element of deja vu. Spirit believes that if they did say accept the bid from JetBlue, the overall repercussions on the broader US industry would be felt severely with what they describe as a collapse of, say, a ULCC carrier. In turn, prices would be rising for tickets to go on board airlines, and the customers would be the ones who would face the negative repercussions from this. Of course, the airline that would collapse would definitely hurt, but on top of this, you're going to have passengers of other airlines paying more and more for their tickets, which will price travel, on planes especially, out of range for a lot of people. With all that being said, the airline just generally believes that they would also struggle to obtain the approval necessary from the Federal Aviation Administration for this very exact reason. So, even by some miracle, let's say it does get approved. it would only really end negatively in the eyes of Spirit, and that's why they've turned down JetBlue repeatedly. Spirit needs to ensure that they have a method of survival too, and that means accepting a proposal from an airline that would ensure their long-term success and status within the industry continues. Interestingly enough, comments from executives at Spirit themselves indicate that JetBlue's consistent focus on Spirit is actually an attempt to distract focus from the airline themselves. Now, that being JetBlue as an airline, which Spirit claims is in a state of disarray, and that's something I'm very interested to hear your take on down in the comments below. Do you believe this is also a tactic by JetBlue themselves to take the pressure off them as a carrier, or do you think they're just generally really interested in acquiring the services of Spirit? Either way, it seems like no matter how many times they put forward an offer, they're never really going to find one that actually sticks, as Spirit has most definitely made up their mind and will not be going with them in the future. They much prefer the likes of Frontier, but JetBlue are hoping they'll change their mind. Whether that happens, I don't necessarily believe so, but it's the aviation industry, and truly you never know what might happen. Meanwhile, there's an update with Northern Pacific Airways as the final topic of today within the aviation industry, who have announced that they do intend to begin flights later this year, having applied now to US authorities to fly between the United States and 2 Asian destinations initially, being pitted as Korea and Japan out of Anchorage. The airline has also noted that it will wet lease aircraft to begin its operations. If you're completely unaware, I have had the chance to sit down with Rob McKinney, the airline's CEO, and interview him while also going over to the United States of America to cover the launch of the carrier. And there's a couple videos on the channel as well as podcasts over on streaming platforms where you can learn more, not just about the airline's plans, but of the overall experience of the airline's launch. They'll also be utilizing the Boeing 757 for these operations, which has definitely been one of the unique features around the carrier's launch, the usage of the Boeing 757 initially. Now, if you have any thoughts on the topics covered in today's aviation news recap, whether that be most recently on Northern Pacific Airways, potentially that very, very intriguing Turkish A350 order, or I'd say the feature piece for this video being once again Spirit rejecting JetBlue, you know where you can leave that. That's the comment section below, a great place to start a dialogue. Thank you very much to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. Do be sure to go check them out in the description and pin comment, as they're helping power the channel and of course powering some upcoming trip reports where I was able to fly in business class. I appreciate it. Thank you, and I will see you next time.